Hello, and welcome to another episode of Automate Office Work. I'm your host, Justin. Today's episode is all about playbooks. There's content, an article that you can find at automateofficework.com/playbooks if you would rather follow along in written form. All right, so I have it on my screen, so you can follow along in video form, either on LinkedIn Live, or you can watch the recording on YouTube, or you can listen to this as an audio-only podcast on Apple Podcasts. So I'll be going for about 20 minutes, and then I invite the live audience, anyone who wants to come on or to leave a comment can go ahead and join me. All right, so playbooks. We discussed earlier all about getting your templates into a template library and aligning them to bring the number of them down. The next thing you'll want to do is to create playbooks for your core templates. Playbooks about templates allow you to answer the basic questions that get asked all the time. The first question people always ask about a template is, what does this legalese mean? Can we just get rid of it? What is the point of this? Or question number two, this part is highlighted in yellow. What do I have to put here? Or the other side wants to change the language. Can we change it? This is a finance term. How can we even get this finance term changed? All right, so I created a tool inside of SharePoint, which I'm going to show on my screen. And for the audio only audience, I will try to paint a picture with words so you can enjoy this as well. This Playbooks platform allows you and your team to write down the answers to all these basic questions, so you don't have to spend time on them again. The business can self-serve where possible. And really, my goal when I created this was to get rid of about 90% of the emails that were coming from the business. All these basic, standard, redundant questions that I didn't want to keep answering all the time. I was tired of being flooded with these emails, and I'm sure the business would like to be able to go ahead with their deal faster as well. So yeah, it just helped everybody. All right, this tool has several advantages over writing your playbook in a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet. First of all, it just looks nicer and it's easier to use. Okay, at this point, I'm going to bring my article over to another screen, and I'm going to be showing the actual playbook. Okay, so on my screen, I'm at a SharePoint page, only you get rid of all the SharePoint stuff that you're used to thinking about SharePoint. Okay, and we show the user only what we want them to see, and it looks like a web page version of a legal contract template. I've got a master service agreement. It's a web page form. And to the right of every paragraph, I have these three tabs. I have a green tab for purpose. I have a blue tab for guidance and a purple tab for legal. And again, this is next to every single paragraph. The user can click on one of these tabs and it expands a box underneath the paragraph so they can read any notes answering their questions about the purpose of this or the guidance. Okay, this is much better as an experience for your users instead of Word or Excel, because they can click on the exact paragraph that they want and see the content only for that paragraph when they want it. Okay. Another advantage is that these playbooks are not downloadable. Wait, that's an advantage? Yes, it forces users to always come to the latest version of the playbook. You see, playbooks are living documents. If a user asks a novel question, you can always go to the commentary and click on the pencil here. I have a pencil next to the commentary to update that commentary. So you see, I click on the pencil, and now I have a text area where I can edit my comments in this box. Another advantage about the playbooks not being downloadable is that sales can't just download your playbook and email it to the other side. So you've got security. You have your strategy written down, and the strategy cannot just be revealed to the other party. You know, you don't want your salespeople to get lazy and be like, here you go, other side. Here's a copy of our contract, and here is our playbook about all the changes that we allow. You know, Often negotiations is like a chess game. You want to go through the moves. You don't want them to go straight to to your uh, to your third option. You want them to go down a ladder. Okay. All right. So this is a way to eliminate 90% of emails. So how do we create a playbook? All right, I'm going to show it here. I'm going to scroll up to the top. I've got a link to go to Playbooks, and it brings me to a kind of a home page. And this is a list of all the playbooks that we have. A person can click on this button to create a new playbook, and they just have to type in their team, a title of the playbook. By default, they are the owner of the playbook, and they are also an editor if they want. You can add additional people to be editors. The owner can always make changes to these, change the name of the team, the title, manage the different editors. All right, so once you have one of these, you go to it, and this is the actual URL that you would give to your people, to your salespeople, to look at this playbook, okay? So you would have like a team website, and you'd have a list of all of your templates, and you'd have training with them, maybe any kind of PowerPoint slides, and then you'd have a playbook, okay? This playbook has these tabs. The purpose is answering the question, what does this even mean, right? Like this is a master services agreement. The person might even ask, when do I use a master services agreement? What is the point of this? And my purpose commentary, it just says a master service agreement lays out the relationship between the parties. So you can give some basic guidance to them. The next part where it's giving the description of the parties and the effective date. That purpose, it says something like this identifies the parties of the agreement and the start date of the agreement. So yeah, do it at whatever level you need to. You could also lay out like the strategy. This is what this is trying to accomplish. Okay. Guidance tab, it's if there are things in yellow that they need to write in, what do they need to write in? And also if the other side wants to change something, what is changeable? How do we change it? Okay. And you can do this at different levels, this kind of guidance. You might say like this paragraph never changes. We will not change it. It's absolutely mandatory like this. Okay. Just letting the salespeople know this, it empowers them in their negotiations. So when the other side tries to change it, they can always push back and say, look, I already got advice from legal. They will not change it. Or you could also give them the available options. You might say like the governing law is the state of New York. We are also okay with New Jersey and I don't know, Idaho, whatever. So then the salesperson has a list of these. They don't have to send an email to legal. Again, we're trying to get rid of the emails. There's also a lot of questions about terms that aren't even legal. So let's imagine it's a finance term. So you can just say, this is a finance term. Do not come to legal if you want to change this. If you want to change it, go to finance. So you see how we can manage the different responsibilities of getting these kinds of changes. You can put it onto the business person, empower them to go self-serve. So legal doesn't have to be what we call like the quarterback. You don't have to be in the middle of everything, but we can guide this, okay? I should also say that there are some issues that you might identify that are just too complex to be able to put in a box of comments. So identify that issue and you put in the box, you say, this is a very complex issue. It will take time. You need to make an appointment with your legal counsel to have a proper discussion about this. Okay, so we're not trying to get rid of everything. We're trying to get rid of the simple, dumb stuff. And then you can actually focus. So imagine if you got rid of 90% of these dumb emails, then you could actually focus on the 10% where maybe it's higher complexity. And because you got rid of the 90%, now you have a lot more time where you can really give in the higher value work. Okay. What else? Um, okay, so we also have a legal tab, and the purpose of this, it's to give just a little bit of extra help to the legal department. So this tab, it's only visible if you're in the legal department. We went over on a previous episode how to get a list of everybody in your department, kind of to make an org chart. So now you have a list of everybody that's in the department. And when a person in your department comes to this playbook, they have this tab available to them as well. Okay. You might notice, anybody watching, there are on these tabs, whenever there's actually commentary available, there's a little speech bubble that shows that there is content. So the user does not have to go and click on every single tab to find out, well, where is the content? Because some of these tabs don't have content yet. Okay. So let's talk about how you get content into these tabs. Okay. So the idea is that you have a team of lawyers, maybe 5 lawyers in your team, and maybe you don't know the strategy of your templates. You don't have written down the allowed changes and how to get those changes. So, especially among a group of 5 lawyers, if nobody has an agreement on something, everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different opinion. Like, what does this actually mean? What are we trying to accomplish? What changes do I allow? Because every lawyer is going to have different opinions. Okay. So it really helps just getting this in order. You sit down as a team and you go over this together and you just hash it out. Everybody has arguments like, what does this legalese actually mean in plain language? Well, you sit down until everybody can agree on it and then write it down. Okay. You write it down once, and then it's so nice because now your team has alignment. It doesn't matter who in the business, or it doesn't matter which lawyer the business approaches. They're going to get the same level of service from any lawyer. So you've got alignment. Okay. You could also then provide this to new people who join your team. You have, let's say you have a new lawyer and they ask, like, where's the training for how I review contracts? Well, you can point them to the playbook. You say, here you go. I would also caution you, let them know that this is not written in stone. If they have a different opinion, they're welcome to share it with the team. You get more experience from them, and maybe they can rewrite some of these commentaries. This is another thing that I should say as well. When you do get a new question from the business, you can think like, well, this is such a great question. Let's add it. Let's add this question and answer to here as well. So this document is a living document. It's always offering new value to the business. And so the business should come here first of all to check, is their question answered? Okay. We should also talk about the culture of change management. Do you have to offer this to your business and tell your business, like, stop emailing us? You already have it here. You might, or if your company has a different kind of a culture, you might do this in a softer way. You can let the people know when they do answer you, when they do ask these fluff questions, you could answer their question, or you could give them the URL to this playbook and let them know that if you have questions in the future, you can get them faster. By all means, keep emailing us. But if you would like your question answered faster, instead of taking 2 days for us to reply to you, maybe you can come here and get help within 2 minutes. You see, so we're doing it a little bit softer. And then over time, maybe you can then change and have a harder tone, that people need to come and consult this playbook first before reaching out to legal if they could get their question answered. Okay. There's another approach to this as well. And that is, can the legal team just keep this as an internal tool? And by all means, yeah, once you're aligned, this is a great way to help your legal team. Do you absolutely have to make this available to your business partners? And I guess the answer is no. But this is already a big step in improving your processes. Okay, guys? This kind of thing, I want to expand your imagination of what is possible. What playbooks have to look like. They don't have to be Word documents. or Excel spreadsheets. They can be living documents that are beautiful, a great way for your business to come and get the questions answered very quickly and nicely. And it can evolve and expand over time as well. You don't have to have everything at once. When I sat down with a team, it took us about, I would say, 4 hours per template to really get all of our commentary written down. And it was a very good experience, about 4 hours. Our goal was to foresee about 90% of the questions. We knew that, getting 100% of questions foreseen and answered would be a monumental task. But already getting 90% of questions answered and put on here was already a huge help. All right. Some people might be asking the question, can I only use this for legal documents? And I would say, no, there are other departments that also have standard documents that get changed in negotiation. You can think about like regulatory documents or some kind of like a quality document that does need to go through changes. They also have a struggle with getting these kinds of documents changed and training people how to use their documents. Okay, so that's it for Playbooks. Let's see. I've got a question here. Somebody asked, can this be recorded? The answer is that this is recorded. It will be on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. It's also available on LinkedIn because this is a LinkedIn live event. Somebody else, LinkedIn user, super useful. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really enjoy the feedback. Yeah, so I'm basically done. I'm going to look through my my article about this. If there's any question, maybe I can actually show the mechanics of this. Okay, so we've got this playbook on my screen. We're able to click on the different tabs, expand them. If I need to add or delete or anything, I can click on a pencil that's next to the box of commentary. It becomes all editable. I change it and then I save it when I'm done. I can click on these tabs again to make the boxes disappear. For any kind of changes to the text itself, you notice when I hover over a paragraph, there's a light blue background. And when I click on this light blue background, the whole paragraph of text becomes editable. I have a text box. I can do basic editing of the format. So I can indent to different levels. I can center my text. I can bold, underline, and italicize everything. And when I do these, it does it to the entire paragraph. If I want to do just a small amount, like only bold, like the very first sentence here, it says scope of services, then yeah, we have to use HTML. You've got these little B tags that go around it. And below this box, I have a link. It says HTML help. And it just gives people a little tiny tutorial how to do this. This is how you bold it. This is how you underline it. This is how you highlight a portion in yellow. And also, if you want to do like a very large tab after, say, like a heading, I do have this this element called tab space, and so that would go between like your bold section and then the next sentence. You can have very large spaces if you want to. Okay, we can delete this entire paragraph if we want to. And also, as I'm moving around, you might notice I have a button to the left with a plus, and that means I can insert an entire paragraph. Okay, I'm going to go down to the end of my document, and let's say I want to add an additional paragraph. So I've got this plus button. I click on it, and it adds, by default, it just says text. And now I can edit this, and I can say, here is more. Okay, I can bold this, I can center it, and when I click on save, it just got added to there, and now I've got my own tabs for purpose, guidance, and legal right there. So that's it, guys. It's really, really simple. If you have even more advanced needs, like let's say you have an entire library of templates and you want to just import these, we can easily build some kind of an import tool that will take it and it will convert it to this HTML version like this. I would caution you that you do need to focus on like your core templates. Like don't go and try to do this for like 100 templates. Like I said, it takes about 4 hours per template, and that's just way too much time for your team. So focus on your really important, say like the top 10, and even then, like meeting once a week for an hour. After 10 months, your team will have this all done. Okay, it's a huge investment. It's extremely helpful, and it empowers your business. It empowers them so that they don't have to send an email to you every time. You no longer then say that you're drowning in emails, because if you are drowning in emails, you're drowning by choice at this point, okay? You know how to organize your work better, so go ahead and do it. Offer this as a service to your people. I even heard that, I've heard that some companies take it so far that they tell their business people that you have to go look at the playbook first before sending a question to the lawyers. The lawyer's time is precious, so they need to be getting self-help as much as they can, to the point that even if they do ask a question to the lawyer and the question was already answered in a playbook, some companies write them up. They reach out to that person's manager and they let them know, like, look, your person is wasting the time of our lawyers. So I've never seen that actually done at a company. Companies have different kinds of culture, but think about this and use this to your advantage in a way that is appropriate for you. And I'd like to hear from you guys. All right, got this person saying, thank you, Justin, for sharing this. It's my pleasure for sharing. And if there's anybody who would like to come on, I left a comment at the LinkedIn event page. Let's see. If you're watching this event live, there are comments, and I left a URL to come on to StreamYard. If anybody would like to come on. It's like in school 3, then me. I'm not sure what that means. Does this mean you feel like you're going back to the 3rd grade or the 3rd class? You have to look 3 places for info before asking the teacher. Ah, nice. Okay, guys. So I think that's it. You do have this entire article if you would like to come back. Maybe there's some stuff I've skipped on here. Let's see. I've got a note here. I'll package the code for this, and I can make it available as like a module that you can just put straight onto your SharePoint. Oh, I do possibly have something that could be useful. That is templates. All right. So I've got a page here. I'm showing my screen. I've got like a kind of a page on SharePoint where it gets filled in with the templates, which I already showed on a previous episode about the templates. But now when I click on the master service agreement, it takes me to a dedicated page all about this master services agreement. And it just gives a little bit of training, what the template is for, who uses it and when. I've got some trainings and some links to some other pages. I've got a link to download the template itself. And there's a link here to the playbook. Okay, so this is how you would integrate this into your website. So people can find the link to the playbook, they open the playbook, and then they can get their questions answered very easily. Okay. All right, I think that's it for the content. I don't see anybody who wants to come on live with me. If you're interested in being a guest, perhaps you can show off the automation that you're working on. Or if you're just a brand new beginner at this, I'm also open to having you come on and we can have a conversation. I can point you in the direction where I think you could go to go on your journey. Okay. My name is Justin, and I have a website at automateofficework.com where you can find all kinds of great content. I'm available for consulting, designing solutions like the ones you've seen, as well as education. I can come and help you with the people part of this kind of journey. You can sign up for my newsletter so you can never miss all the kinds of content that I'm putting out. Today's episode 17 of the podcast, and I recommend that you go back to all the previous episodes. There's so much, and there's so much coming up as well. I do have all kinds of free resources for you. LegalTechReady.com. It's a website that goes through every pitfall of legal technology and what you need to do to ensure your success when you're implementing legal technology. If you would like to learn how to code like me, I do have some people who ask me, how can I learn to do what you did? So I do have a portion of my website where you can learn yourself. I also have a book that I wrote. It's available for free, narrated by me in about 40 minutes, Thinking Like a Programmer. So it helps people to get the imagination of how to find patterns, because we automate processes. So you're going to have to structure your work as a process if you want to be really successful at doing this. And then after that, I've got all kinds of great articles that can help you and should be of interest to you as well. All right, let's see if I got any last comments. Any last live comments here? Not seeing anything. Been going for about 26 minutes. That's a good amount, I guess. All right, guys. With that, I wish you happy automating. Feel free to reach out to me. I am Justin at automateofficework.com. You can also find me, Justin Turman, Turman, on LinkedIn. Happy to connect and to help you on your journey as well. All right. Cheers, guys.